And now I would like to talk to Val, Dean Val. Are you there, Dean Val?
Yes, but maybe we could delay my story till next week. I'm right in the doctor's office right now. It's kind of
okay.
Weird. So rain check on that.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, thank you. Claudie, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Do you want to give maybe a comparison, if you can compare the differences, maybe some of the differences between Eckankar being in the corporation and what is presented now in the new UUU with Duane?
Oh, yeah. I would love to. The reason is that in the corporation, you were given opportunities to advance in what they called spiritual knowledge. And I wanted to advance, so I worked very hard to achieve more information. Now, part of the protocol in the corporation is to chant the word H-U, and to observe or look at the picture of what they called the leader of Eckankar, Mahanta. Look at the Mahanta and chant H-U and live your life according to their principles, which is, like anything else, be good, do good, help out on the planet, save it if you can, and explore more. In the time of Darwin's reign, so to speak, he presented information, but he again concluded that it should be more strict, not so much freedom to go on your own and verify information. And for me, that was the particular point, to verify information. How do I do this? Just chanting Hugh and giving out flowers wasn't it for me. I wanted more concrete evidence. And I did started having experiences with what we in the new corporation call the guides. These were at the time called Eckmasters. Paul borrowed some of this terminology to streamline his presentation. A lot of the students that he had taking the courses had experiences with Rebisar, Paul Twitchell himself, in their dreams. And so here was information that was being offered from a non-create cause and effect universe. So as you explored in Eckankar, you became more aware of more and more personalities, I'm going to say, different masters who lived throughout history. Eckankar's information presents the thought that there has been an unbroken line of Eckmasters since life became viable on this planet, to the point that there's, I think, 972 Eckmasters, are people who have held what they call the rod of power through their lifetimes and after their passing, to guide the students who are looking for more information. The students in Eckankar now do not know what they're looking for. All they know is the same old stuff. Every year they have a meeting, a worldwide meeting, and the same diatribe is presented that was presented the year before and the year before that. It's just the words were rearranged in a different viewpoint. So it for me, the Eckankar religion became more solidified into what is called creation. It's just the same religion as other religions on this planet. Well, I wanted to know more about what this religion stuff was. I was raised as a Catholic, and I didn't like I chafed under the different protocols of that particular organization. I didn't feel anything for the Pope or anything like that. And I said, if you don't know anything or feel anything from what you are being told is religion or God, something's wrong somewhere. And so since I wanted to know more, I found Duane, read his information, and it felt more real and viable. So I started exploring through their protocols. The New Nupresentation Foundation protocols are very simple. Just sing New You for 10 or 15 minutes before going to sleep and ask a question and see what presents itself. It's very simple. And when you sing New You like this, New You, and do this for a few minutes and ask a question in your mind, something that will verify some fact for you. Then you start on a journey of more discovery. You meet other guides. These are what in Eckankar would have been called Eckmasters. In the Nupresentation, they're called simply guides because they're not here to be at your beck and call. They're not here to save your life in a sense. They're not here to tell you how to fix potatoes or something like that. They're not a servant. They're a guide. They've been down this path. They know the route, and they can offer you assistance. Like if you've been around the block once, and you go around again, the same stuff is there, and you go around again, pretty soon you know the block pretty good, and you know the path, and you know what's there, what's coming up. This is what is presented in the Nupresentation. Duane takes the time to help us become aware of what's going on our planet, in our life, what's happening now. Duane has used the term all is to describe everything that is. I know that sounds funny. You say, oh, that's God. No, it's not God. God is not a personality. I mean, you can say it's a personality because from the Bible you hear many stories about God being loving and kind and at the same instant vengeful. And for me, that just doesn't work. Either you are or you aren't. If you aren't, then fine, great, go ahead down that road. I'll get out of your way because I know you've got important things to do. But for me, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's happening behind the green curtain. Who is that man, and why is he trying to scare us? And what happens when you meet a reptilian? I've had some opportunities with Duane to meet other species and have found out information about what's going on the planet because there are reptilians here who've been here for thousands of years and have shaped the course of history for humankind. So there's more to learn. I don't like being deceived by others, especially religion and government. I like to be honest and straightforward and pleasant. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. What an adventure and how wonderful. Now I would like to ask either Kelsey or Henry if they'd like to give an example of being on the real side and what the difference is with being in creation. Either one of you.
Well, one thing I just wanted to share, too, like I mentioned when I first shared here, I hadn't heard of the corporation until Chris Courage let me know about Duane and the New You and the guides. I did a Google search to see the guides and what they might look like, or just if I could find the guides' pictures or something about the guides on the internet. And it's kind of funny because you can just see them on the real side as well, but that can take a long time to recognize them. So I had just gotten the information, and I was on the computer, so I did a Google search. So I saw that they were being presented as with the Eckankar Corporation. So that's basically all I knew. And I started to sing the New You, and actually I was shown Joni, who's actually controlling the corporation, the wife of the Mr. Clump there, Mr. Clump. And I was shown her as a witch, and she was dragging a lot of other people, especially women and young girls, and she was dragging them into an astral light, and they were all screaming, and they were referencing a lot of the things that she had done to people on the real side, like giving them cancers because of the taplines. And another thing I saw was I went to it appeared to be a type of trophy ceremony. So there were monarch butterflies on the trophies, and that's a symbolism that the elite uses for their monarch mind control. And so I saw Harry, this individual that promotes himself with the corporation as a master, and he was with quite a few people from different agencies on the earth, and they were all in black robes. And there was corporation members from the corporation that is referred to as the Eckankar Corporation and other corporations on the earth, other spiritual paths. And I was walking behind these people, I was tapping them on the shoulder, telling them to Google monarch mind control and different topics like this. And I could hear them saying about all of their ailments that they had from being in the corporation. And meanwhile, there was like a trophy ceremony being held for Harry and these different taplining people on the earth for how good they were doing for controlling people, and their audience was right in front of them. And a lot of them the audience was talking about their ailments from the taplining, and they were just like feeling their back and just all sorts of situations going on with their physical body. And I was telling them to just like listen to their gut, their intuition and their awareness to see what was really going on, why they were sitting there having all these ailments. And they were actually looking at the people that were controlling and taplining them, but it looked like this nice ceremony, which was just a ritual that they were doing. And another experience I had too, because I wasn't in the corporation on the earth, so I didn't really know much about it or anything, but then I was shown, Rebisar and Yabel took me to a church, like a Catholic church, and Joni and Harry were being married, and the idea was they were showing me that they were showing their marriage to the One World Order and the reptilian controllers, because the Catholic Church is all from Rome, and that's all the reptilian alien tapliners, and I knew that when I woke up from the experience. But yeah, the real side, that's like the real side of what they're doing here, which is obvious. But yeah, then there's like the real universe's real side, which everything from what I've learned appears a lot cleaner, and there's not all of this destruction and poison and pollution like we have here, and there's less restrictions, but I've found that it's a lot more than I can really explain or even have experienced. So yeah, did you want to say something?
Yeah, if I could just share, I had a lot of dreams like throughout this lifetime, but I never really paid too much attention to them because I was so literal. And so when I started singing You, and I realized I could become more aware from these experiences, it was really cool. And on the real side, you get a view of what is taking the real side of different things, and you can see anything. You just put your attention there. And one of the first experiences I had is I asked to see my taplines, and I was falling out of the sky with Rebisar, and he was just laughing at me, and I was like, okay, fear is one of my taplines, because I was like scared. I was falling out of the sky, and he even made, as we got to the ground, he just like made me like, float or hover, a few feet above the ground. He was just laughing, and eventually I got the idea and started laughing too. And you can see on the real side, here in creation, there's a part of me that is tap-blind and scared of things. So, yeah, and I've been shown a lot of different things. I've had some cool experiences and some, not so cool, because you can see on the real side, like I said, here in creation, there's a lot of darkness here, dark things taking place right now, and you can see those, but you don't have to be affected by them. And in a way, it motivates me to like see and do more here to help people. Give more people the opportunity to wake up to what Duane and the Real Guides presenting, which is the opportunity to wake up to your real awareness and real universes. And I've had a few experiences in the real universes, and yeah, it's hard to describe them, and it's so wonderful, and it's just an awesome motivation to keep seeing more and doing more, and like supporting life here, so more people can have those experiences and eventually have a real life too. And even the experiences I have on the real side, where they're, in creation, I can see how my real awareness, is giving me those experiences, so I can become more aware while I'm here. Yeah, and then you get that objective view here when you're awake in this crazy world from your real awareness, as you recognize it more so. And you see how nothing really makes sense here, but at the same time we can do something that does make sense, and people are starting to see what we're doing more so, and we're out there, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitter, and everywhere, and it's really cool when someone shows up and yeah, they can decide to see more. It's a lot of fun, and it's a real adventure.